done!
G'day, welcome to the channel. My family and I love building and testing some of the coolest setups around. From old classics, modern day dual cabs, and everything else in between. So come along and join the family. I'm Graham Harris, Four Wheel Drive Adventures.
G'day guys and girls, and welcome back to the channel. Sorry it's been a bit of a break between videos, but we've had another project going on in the shed where we had to get it done quickly to try and get it out of the shed. It was taking up shed space that I didn't want it to do. We've got it done. You'll see it in the following video that we're putting out, but it's not really four-wheel drive related as such, but it was a good little project for me, the missus and the kids to do. And but anyway, today I wanted to talk about whether these little Mahindras are a good buy or a bad buy. So far with ours, I know with you know, personally speaking from owning this one, it's been a pretty good little bloody ute. It's done exactly what I needed it to do. We've had a couple of little issues with it, but if you're in the market for one and you're looking well, for things to look out for with one compared to other brands of utes and stuff like that, some of the I wouldn't say it's a problem, but some of the things to look out for is Mahindra are a very in-house company with their parts. You can't just go to Autobarn or Repco or Super Cheap or anything else like that and get parts for these things off the shelf. You know, fuel filters, oil filters, air cleaners. Bendex don't make brake pads for them. It's all in-house Mahindra, so you have to go to your Mahindra dealer to get these things, and that can be a bit of a pain, especially if you're in a remote area and you haven't got a dealership right next door to you. So just look out for that one when getting them. When these things get more numbers around, I'm sure the more dealerships that pop up, and hopefully some other companies jump on board and try and get these parts and, you know, more available for everyone. That'll be brilliant. Rims and tyres, I've had so many questions about the rims on these things. I was lucky enough to pick these up off of my Mahindra dealer. He hasn't got any more. You just can't get them. These -13 offset wheels are very hard to get. But having said that, you know, the standard stuff's not too bad. I don't mind them. I just wanted to go a little bit wider in the stance, you know, simple as that, make it look a bit tougher. The other thing that annoys me with these things is the servicing is bloody expensive. $500 capped price for the first couple, and then $800 for the third one. And $800 is a bloody lot of money to fork out for a service on a vehicle, especially when things like the air cleaner don't even get changed in that service. That was a 40,000 kilometre service, and the air cleaners, they get looked at and blown out if necessary, but not replaced. You actually get charged extra if you have to replace it, which is ridiculous in a $800 service. On a four-wheel drive, you'd think they would get done. You know, these things get driven up dirt roads all the time, well, mine does. Little bits and pieces like that, you can't just go buy a set of hubs unless they're genuine to put on the front of them, and they're bloody expensive as well. So there are little things that creep into these Mahindras that you sit there and go, geez, that's a bit wrong. I wish there was more parts available like that, where you can go to any old dealership and buy them. Off-road companies and stuff like that certainly don't make too much stuff for these things, where, you know, ARB, TJM, the major bands and stuff like, you can buy parts for Land Cruisers and all the modern utes everywhere, but you get nothing for Mahindra yet. So I certainly hope those companies jump on board. We've taken this thing off-road in quite a few occasions. Get into him! And it's done the job perfectly. We've had it towing boats. We've had it, you know, on long distance trips where we've done a carrier bearing in the centre tail shaft. Well, this is a turn that we didn't really want. We've come nearly 300 kilometres since home, and we've just spat the carrier bearing on the tail shaft, which is a pretty well known issue in these Mahindras by the look of it. It was only 20,000 kilometres old at that stage, and that really put a dampener on me, going, did I make the wrong decision buying one of these things? Are we going to have more troubles and everything else? Little things start to creep in. The 12-volt socket in the front of these things, it stopped working, had no power. The rear one's gone in it now. I've got no power out of the rear one. We got that one fixed. That one there plays up. So I don't know whether it's a common thing, but it certainly annoys you with them. But having said all that, they are a pretty basic little ute. They're not worth much, as you know, but they do a bloody awesome job for the money you pay for them. And you know, 12-volt socket not working, it's not the end of the game and go, that's it, I'm getting rid of it because of that. Engine's been great, just been ticking over. Great little bloody powertrain in this thing. Everything seems to be working fine for that. It's got just over 40,000 kilometres on it now, and it's been doing everything that I've asked of it. So would you buy one? Would you go out and buy one? I know I'd buy another one if I had the cash to do it. The autos are definitely going to be a bit of a game changer for them. These things struggle a little bit in the torque department in the off-road, the hard off-road stuff, crawling over rocks and stuff like that, and it's low range. An auto would definitely help it in that department. Whether that changes the torque output of the towing capacity, yet to find out. It pulls all right. They're geared very well, these machines, ain't they? They are geared very well for towing. They won't do astronomical speeds with your little amount of power that you get out of these things, but for what it's got, you know, around that 80 to 100 k/h mark, they'll drag a bloody 1-ton trailer all day. It won't hurt them, and it's just geared very well for the amount of horsepower that it's producing. So that's all good, and so I'm definitely liking what they are as a ute. The lift that we've put in it, the pedal suspension, 2-inch lift, faultless, haven't had a drama with that. We throw a lot of firewood on the back of this thing, logs on the trailer. We drag them up from down the paddock and cut them up for firewood, and the suspension doesn't miss a beat. Still comfy to drive in, still works. What else have we done? All the accessories on, like these side steps and sidebars in them, they're a good strong little package, eh? They're well made, and the bull bar as well. It all fits and ties in perfectly with it. The snorkel on it, been doing exactly what it needs to do, chucking cold air into that engine, compared to the standard setup. What else have we put on it? The bash plate, good fit, does the job. We've had it bouncing over a few rocks now, and you don't realise how much you need a bash plate until you put one on. You realise how much you've been hitting. So it's a good little investment sticking that one on there, and it's a genuine Mahindra one, chuck straight under it, bolt straight up. The bull bar with a winch on him, that King's winch on it, does the job. We've had this thing on the winch a couple of times. You can see that works perfectly with it. Yeah, it's a good little long distance tourer. I travel about 450 k to work, and it's a good little comfy car. You don't feel like you're getting there absolutely stuffed. It's a good little bloody ute for doing that. So hopefully next time I'm home, we'll get this thing out and do a few tracks again, and might even see if we can get it bogged. We'll take this old girl and the old HJ45 Cruiser out again. My young fella wants to put them against each other, so we'll go out and hit the tracks in those two again, hopefully, and we'll get a bit more of that done. But yeah, to me they are definitely worth the money. A great bang for your buck vehicle. But there's just a few little niggling things I wish either Mahindra or other manufacturers that build stuff could jump on board and start designing for these vehicles, because they're getting bloody popular. And they're not a Land Cruiser. They don't pretend to be a Land Cruiser. They'll never be a Land Cruiser. But they do just a bloody good as job in certain applications. Simple as that. Is a Land Cruiser, you know, worth an extra $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 more than one of these? No. Simple answer, no. And I'll stand by that every day. A Land Cruiser will go more places and do more things, but it ain't worth that much more than one of these. You can go buy one of these and spend the rest of your money on fuel for the next 30 years, you know, and do the same bloody job of driving to work. So that's why I like these little things. The money that I save in these is brilliant, you know. It doesn't use a great deal of money going to work, especially with the price of diesel these days. It's ridiculous, but it does the job. So anyway, guys and girls, cheers, thanks for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get a little bit more content out. It's just a bit hard working away, getting back, trying to film, do these other projects and get them done, and get some stuff out to you, but we will succeed. So thank you very much, guys and girls, and have a good day. Cheers.